Welcome to my channel, Valuable Coins All World. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent wheat penny, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. Imagine stepping back in time to the year 1949. The world is recovering from the chaos of World War II, and life in the United States is starting to return to a sense of normalcy. The economy is growing, technology is advancing, and yet, among the tumultuous changes of the mid-20th century, one small yet timeless item has remained constant. The humble penny. In 1949, millions of these pennies were minted, but today, only a select few are worth far more than their face value. In fact, some are valued at an astounding $150,000. That penny? The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. But what makes this coin so special? How did a simple copper disc become a treasured relic for collectors? Join us as we explore the story of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, its unique features, its fascinating history, and how it transformed into one of the most coveted pieces of American numismatic history. Before diving into the specifics of the 1949 coin, let's take a moment to understand the legacy of the Lincoln Wheat Penny. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the coin was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. His design, featuring a bust of Lincoln on the obverse front, became an iconic image in American coinage. On the reverse, the coin displayed two stalks of wheat, a symbol of America's agricultural strength. This design was so beloved that it remained in use until 1958, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. By the time 1949 rolled around, the Lincoln Wheat Penny had already undergone decades of changes, from its composition to its design details. But the year 1949 is special for several reasons. The minting of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny took place at all three U.S. mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced millions of these pennies, with subtle differences in the quality of the strike and the rarity of certain mint marks. The 1949 coins are often categorized into two broad types: the 1949 Philadelphia Mint Penny, which has no mint mark, and the 1949 D and 1949 S, which were struck at the Denver and San Francisco mints, respectively. While millions of 1949 pennies were produced, their true value as collectors' items lies in their rarity, condition, and minting nuances. Coin collectors often search for pieces in pristine, uncirculated condition, which can make a significant difference in value. A penny that's been well preserved, free from wear and tear, and with sharp details on the design, is far more desirable to collectors than one that's been damaged or worn down from circulation. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, in particular, has gained fame for its variety of rare, high-quality specimens, some of which can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. One of the key factors that make the 1949 penny so appealing to collectors is its historical context. The United States was experiencing a period of significant change during the late 1940s. The post-World War II economy was booming, but with that boom came inflation, and the value of coins like the penny started to fluctuate. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny symbolizes this transitional time in American history. The design, the composition, and the very fact that it was struck during this unique era add to its allure. But the 1949 penny's value isn't just about its historical significance. It's also about its rarity. For example, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, minted in San Francisco, is among the more sought-after versions of this coin. While over 100 million of these pennies were produced, finding one in mint condition can be a daunting task. The San Francisco minted 1949 penny is often prized for its clean strike, and some specimens have been graded as uncirculated by professional numismatic organizations. These pristine pieces can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. The 1949 D penny, minted in Denver, is another coin that draws considerable attention. While it wasn't as rare as the 1949 S, certain variations and error coins have been discovered over the years. These error coins, whether they feature misstruck designs or unusual markings, are always in high demand. Collectors who specialize in error coins often have their eyes on these anomalies, which can make them even more valuable than standard examples of the 1949 D penny. Then, there's the 1949 Philadelphia Mint Penny, the plain penny, as it's sometimes called. While it was the most common of the 1949 pennies, its value skyrockets when it's in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins that have avoided the usual wear and tear from daily circulation are rarer than you might think. It's not just the date and mint mark that make these coins valuable, but the overall condition and preservation. As with any collectible, the value of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny depends heavily on its grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Numismatists use a scale known as the Sheldon scale to grade coins, with 1 being the lowest, a coin in poor condition, and 70 being the highest, a coin in perfect condition. An uncirculated 1949 penny, graded MS 65 or higher, could easily be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But that's not where the story ends. In the world of rare coins, some specimens take things to a whole new level. The coin I'm about to mention isn't just rare, it's legendary. In recent years, a particular 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, graded MS 67, the highest possible grade for this type of coin, was auctioned for a jaw-dropping $150,000. That's right, $150,000 for a single penny. This coin, considered one of the finest examples of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny ever discovered, serves as a reminder of just how valuable these small pieces of history can be. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny's astronomical price tag at auction isn't a fluke. It highlights a deeper truth about coin collecting. Even the most seemingly ordinary items can hold immense value if they're rare, in perfect condition, or tied to a significant historical moment. For collectors, the hunt for these rare and valuable coins is what makes the hobby so thrilling. And the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is one of the most sought-after pieces in American numismatics. The appeal of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is multifaceted. It's a reminder of the past, a link to the history of the United States, and a symbol of the way small, everyday objects can become treasured pieces of culture. For collectors, the 1949 penny is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history that represents the changing tides of American society, from post-war recovery to the dawn of the modern era. As you can see, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not just a relic of the past. It's a coin that continues to fascinate collectors and historians alike. From its historical significance to its design and minting details, this penny is more than just pocket change. For the right collector, it's a symbol of perseverance, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt. The next time you hold a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your hand, take a moment to appreciate its history. Who knows? You might just be holding on to a coin that could one day be worth a small fortune. After all, in the world of coin collecting, it's not just the pennies that are valuable. Sometimes, it's the stories they tell. Top 2. We're diving deep into one such coin, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This seemingly simple penny, produced in the mid-20th century, has become a treasure for collectors and a valuable piece of American numismatic history. The story begins in 1909, a year that marked the birth of the Lincoln Wheat Penny. To commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint introduced a new 1-cent coin designed by Victor David Brenner, a talented sculptor. His design featured the profile of Lincoln on the obverse, with 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, symbolizing the nation's agricultural strength. This design would remain in circulation until 1958, making the Lincoln Wheat Penny one of the most iconic U.S. coins in history. By the time the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted, the design had already become familiar to millions of Americans. However, the context of its creation was far from ordinary. The world was recovering from the devastation of World War II, and the United States was experiencing rapid industrial growth. Yet, at the same time, Americans were still grappling with inflation, supply shortages, and the lingering effects of the war. This was the backdrop against which the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny came into being, a humble coin, yet one that would carry a profound significance for those who would come to collect it in the future. 1949 was an interesting year for coinage in the United States. The minting of the Lincoln Wheat Penny occurred at 3 different U.S. mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each with its own distinct features. The Philadelphia Mint, producing the majority of the 1949 pennies, did so without a mint mark. Denver produced coins marked with a D, and San Francisco stamped theirs with an S. But even though the production numbers were high, Not all of these pennies were created equally. Some, due to wear and tear, poor strikes, or minting anomalies, were destined to fade into obscurity, while others, well-preserved and error-free, would become highly sought after by collectors. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Pennies design retained the iconic elements introduced in 1909. On the obverse, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's face, his strong features captured in great detail, a reminder of the man who led the country through its Civil War and helped shape its future. On the reverse, the two wheat stalks symbolize the nation's reliance on agriculture and the abundance that the land could provide. This design would not change until 1959, making the Lincoln Wheat Penny a staple of American coinage for decades. But it's the coin's composition that makes it truly fascinating. Like most pennies from the era, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck in 95% copper, with the remaining 5% composed of tin and zinc. This high copper content makes the coin particularly vulnerable to corrosion, meaning that over time, most circulated pennies from 1949 have been worn down, losing much of their value. However, the coins that survived in excellent condition, free from corrosion and with sharp details, would soon catch the attention of numismatists. The value of a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny isn't just about its age, it's about rarity and condition. The condition of a coin is determined by a grading system known as the Sheldon scale, where coins are graded from 1 poor to 70 perfect. A coin that's been well preserved, with no visible wear and a sharp, clear strike, can fetch significantly more money. This is especially true for coins like the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, which had a high mintage but still contains rare examples that are nearly flawless. One of the key factors that make the 1949 penny so valuable to collectors is its relative rarity and uncirculated condition. While the U.S. Mint produced over 1 billion pennies in 1949, many of these coins were used in circulation, heavily worn by daily transactions. A well-preserved coin, in mint state, MS 65 or higher, can be worth much more than its face value. The more perfect the coin's condition, the higher the value. Among collectors, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, minted in San Francisco, is one of the most sought-after versions of the coin. Though the mintage was over 100 million, San Francisco minted pennies are often prized for their sharp strikes and clean, distinct details. A 1949 penny in MS 65 or higher condition can be worth several $1,000s, and certain rarer specimens can fetch even more. Then there's the 1949 D, minted in Denver. While it wasn't as rare as the 1949 certain varieties of the 1949 D penny, particularly those with unique errors or uncirculated specimens, can also command high prices at auction. Error coins, such as those with misaligned designs or double strikes, are often prized by collectors for their uniqueness and scarcity. However, it's not just the 1949 or 1949 D that have made headlines in the coin collecting world. There's another factor that collectors often look for: the so-called flawless examples. A 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, free of any visible imperfections, and graded MS 67 or higher, is incredibly rare. Such a coin can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, and in some cases, these specimens have reached eye-popping prices. So, what is the current value of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, particularly for those flawless examples? In recent years, the coin's value has soared, especially for the rarest, best-preserved pieces. Some of the finest examples of the 1949 penny, particularly the 1949 in MS 67 or higher, have been known to reach impressive prices, often in the range of $10,000 to $20,000. But there's one coin that stands above the rest. A 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, graded MS 67, recently sold for a staggering $120,000. Yes, you heard that right, $120,000 for a single penny. This particular coin is a shining example of the potential for high-value coins to emerge from even the most common years. It's a testament to how rare, flawless coins can be worth far more than their face value, and how the value of these coins can increase exponentially as more collectors become aware of their rarity. For many collectors, the thrill of finding such rare, high-value coins like the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is what makes numismatics so appealing. The search, the research, the excitement of discovering an incredibly rare coin in the most unlikely places. These are the experiences that turn ordinary collectors into experts and passionate enthusiasts. As we conclude our journey through the history of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, it's clear that this small, unassuming coin holds much more than just its copper weight. It holds a story, the story of a nation, its people, and its ever-changing economic landscape. And for those who are lucky enough to find a rare, well-preserved 1949 penny, that story can come with a very hefty price tag. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a shining example of how something as small as a coin can hold immense value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey into the world of numismatics, this iconic penny reminds us that sometimes the most valuable treasures are the ones we least expect. So, the next time you come across a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. Who knows? You might just be holding on to a coin worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. In the world of coin collecting, as in life, it's always worth keeping an eye out for hidden treasures. Top 3. The year is 1957, and the United States is thriving. World War II is a distant memory, and the nation is on the brink of a new era, a period of prosperity, innovation, and social change. The economy is booming, the suburbs are expanding, and the world is starting to feel the ripple effects of technological advancement. Amid all this change, one small object remains a fixture in daily life: the humble penny. This penny, however, was no ordinary coin. It was part of one of the longest-running and most iconic coin series in U.S. history, the Lincoln Wheat Penny. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, in particular, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, not just for its historical significance, but for its enduring value. But what makes this particular penny so special? Why does it hold such appeal even decades after it was minted? And how did a coin that was once worth just 1 cent end up being worth thousands of dollars today? To understand the allure of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, we need to first step back in time and take a closer look at the history and design of this coin, as well as the circumstances surrounding its minting. The story of the Lincoln Wheat Penny dates back to 1909. To celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint introduced a new 1-cent coin. This coin featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse front, designed by the sculptor Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, 2 stalks of wheat framed the word 1 cent, symbolizing the agricultural foundation of America. The design was simple, yet elegant, and it immediately captured the American public's imagination. For nearly 5 decades, the Lincoln Wheat Penny design remained unchanged. In 1957, however, the coin was nearing the end of its run. The U.S. Mint was preparing to retire the iconic design in favor of a new one, the Lincoln Memorial design, which would debut the following year, in 1959. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, therefore, represents the final chapter in this era of American coinage. It is the last of the series, making it a symbolic piece of history. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny was struck in 3 U.S. Mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint had its own unique features, and the mint marks, found on the reverse of the coin, tell us where the coin was produced. Philadelphia-produced pennies do not have a mint mark, while Denver-minted coins are marked with a D, and San Francisco coins bear an S. In 1957, the U.S. Mint struck more than 1 billion pennies, making the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny one of the most common in circulation. However, while the sheer number of these pennies might suggest they would be easily found, not all of them have survived the test of time. Many of these pennies were used in daily transactions, spent, and worn down by years of handling. The coins that were well preserved, those that avoided the usual signs of circulation like scratches, discoloration, and dents, are the ones that have become highly prized by collectors. One of the key factors that makes the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny so valuable today is its condition. Like all coins, the state in which the coin was preserved plays a massive role in its collectability. Collectors use a grading system to evaluate coins, with the Sheldon scale being the most widely used. The scale ranges from 1 for a coin in poor condition to 70 for a coin in perfect, uncirculated condition. A coin that is graded as uncirculated, or MS-65, will be worth far more than one that is heavily worn or damaged by. In the case of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, the most desirable coins are those that were never circulated. These coins, often referred to as mint state coins, are the ones that show no wear, with clear and sharp details. When these coins are graded at a high level, such as MS 65 or higher, their value can increase significantly. For example, a well-preserved 1957 penny with a high grade can easily fetch hundreds of dollars, and in rare cases, even more. But it's not just the condition that drives the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny's value. Certain mint marks and varieties can make these pennies even rarer and more sought after by collectors. The 1957 S penny, minted in San Francisco, is often a favorite among collectors. While the total mintage for 1957 S pennies was around 28 million, a smaller portion of those coins were produced in pristine condition. As a result, 1957 S pennies that are in mint state are particularly valuable. Some of these coins can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $1,000s, depending on their grade. In addition to the mint marks, collectors are always on the lookout for errors. Error coins, those with misprints, double strikes, or other anomalies, are highly prized in the numismatic community. For example, a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny that has a double die, meaning the details on the coin are stamped more than once, can be worth significantly more than a typical example. Error coins are rare and unique, and finding one in good condition is a collector's dream. Now, let's talk about the real showstopper, the value of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. While most of these coins are worth only their face value, some can fetch incredibly high prices, especially in top-notch condition. The key to their value lies in scarcity, quality, and demand. And one 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, in particular, has reached an astounding price at auction. A flawless, uncirculated 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, graded MS 67 and featuring the coveted S mint mark, recently sold for $100,000. That's right, $100,000 for a single penny. This particular coin stands as a testament to the power of numismatics, proving that even the most common coins can hold immense value when they are rare, well-preserved, and in demand. A coin that was once worth just 1 cent has now become a six-figure treasure. But how did a coin like this reach such an extraordinary price? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Coins in perfect, uncirculated condition are exceptionally rare, and when you combine that with the added historical value of the Lincoln Wheat Penny, the result is a bidding frenzy among collectors. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, as the last of the series before the Lincoln Memorial design took over, is a symbolic piece of American history. Its value is driven not just by its rarity, but by the emotional connection that collectors feel to the coin and to the larger history it represents. So, what does this mean for you? If you happen to come across a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't just dismiss it. While most of these coins will likely be worth just a few cents or dollars, you could have one of the rare, well-preserved examples in your possession. It's worth taking a closer look at the coin's condition, mint mark, and any potential errors. Who knows? You might be holding on to a coin worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a shining example of how a simple, everyday object can transform into a prized treasure. It's a piece of history that tells the story of the United States during a pivotal time in the 20th century. And for collectors, it's a reminder of the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovering rare and valuable coins, and the incredible value that can be found in the most unlikely places. As we conclude our story of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, it's clear that these small, seemingly insignificant coins hold much more than just their copper weight. They hold a history, a legacy, and a tangible connection to the past. And for collectors, the pursuit of the rarest, most pristine examples of this iconic coin is more than just a hobby. It's a passion that can lead to astonishing rewards. So, the next time you come across a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny, don't simply toss it aside. Take a moment to appreciate its history. You might just be holding onto a coin worth far more than you ever imagined.